So many people think this is the reality, this is the life of a photographer, if only. Unfortunately, many of them are stuck behind a desk. They spend their time behind a desk organizing all the paperwork of a shooting, instead of spending their time behind the lens. The paperwork they're doing is all the business behind a photography shoot or the photography world. Purchase orders, grant writing, invoicing, image licensing, archiving, all the administrative nonsense. But very important to the business of a photographer. There is a tiny handful of photographers that can outsource these tasks, but the vast majority, 1 million of photographers, they're on their own. And the fun is, they do it the old-fashioned way. They use paperwork, email, they don't use new technology, which is funny, because they use a new technology when it comes to creating a new image. Up until now, up until Ooshot. My name is Valerie Herslev, and I've been in this business for 15 years, photography business. And together with my two partners, Mathieu Louis, our CTO, and Thierry Maillet, helping development, we are building tailored tools to respond to the needs of this photography community. We want to create a whole set of applications. We are creating a whole set of applications to respond to the needs of this business. This is an online marketplace, not just for photographers, but all the people who work with photographers. It's from the stylists to the agents, to the curators, to the gallerists, all the people around. We want them to create a sharing system where they can share their images and also use the tools we develop. And our first tool, I'm sorry, I'm not used to this. Our first tool is Oocasting. Oocasting is a new sharing way to organize a casting, to cast a model. Today, when you organize a casting, you can do it either the beauty parade. You have all the pretty models coming into your office or your studio, and what an energy. You have to view them and confirm if you find a model. Or you do it the email way, which is tons of emails. Or you do it the Ooshot way. Ooshot is an online gallery where you can share privately your selection, and you can comment privately. You can work on the image. And it really gets funky when you go out on the street and you cast with your iPhone. You go out, you shoot new faces, and luckily, you don't need the pen and paper. You can write directly under the image the contacts of the models, and you can also audio note. Imagine everybody's in a hurry, audio note, and it's done. You share it securely with your clients or the person you work with. And here you go. You have a sharing platform where you can collaborate on one image. Okay. This is all about Ooshot, a tailored tools for photographers and for their business. We want world-class support to help them to escape from life behind desk and bring them back behind the lens. Not only for the 1 million of photographers, but for the 20 million of semi-professional, semi-photographers who want to share their images and today have no tools to license, to archive their images. So we want them to benefit from this tool, and we really think that Ooshot is the best thing to happen to photography since the invention of the camera. Thank you very much. I will invite...
Thank you, Valerie. And now questions for Ooshot.
Let me invite my partner, Thierry Maillet, who will join me for the question and answers.
Good morning.
Lucas, you want to get us started?
Morning. Yeah, hi. Okay, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm struggling. So what, as a photographer, what can I do here as opposed to what I could do with a private group on Facebook posting pictures, only giving access to a certain number of people that could see it. I can put notes and everything. And how do you monetize this? What's the delta between public stuff and this so that you can monetize your services?
If you want, when you are using Facebook, of course you can use it on a private access, but it's going to be very complicated. When you're a photographer, you can spend each week a new image. And for each image, you can go up to 100, sometimes 1,000 models. Okay. So in that case, it's very complicated for you only using Facebook. While if you're using through Oocasting and Ooshot, you have a dedicated way of working.
Can I respond as well? Ooshot is a community of the creative industry, and photographers, they don't upload their image on Facebook because it's not secure. It's
not professional.
No, not professional photographers. They don't. Because there is a licensing issue, so they don't. So this is really, it's a B2B application.
I said Facebook, I could have said Flickr and anything.
No, but it's the same. It's
yes.
the same.
There is what we offer is tools that will archive, help you invoicing, help you licensing. It's all together, and we're not inventing anything new. We're just tailoring it to one BPO. Creative industry.
You are trying to invent BPO for photographers.
PP?
Business process outsourcing.
Yes.
You capture the business process.
Yes.
The business, not the creation, but the business process of a photographer.
Yes.
And you are capturing it into a process that the guy can outsource to you.
Yes.
Basically, that would be a better way to explain it.
Thank you.
You had the casting tool. What other tools are you anticipating building?
Booking and archiving. So casting should it's being finalized, so it will be soon there. And then we attack archive and booking, how to book people. And archiving is very important.
And finally, the financing flow. You have to know that photographers are very uneasy with dealing with invoices, with dealing with clients. They don't know how to do that. Clients are expecting more and more direct invoices, non-paper invoices. They are creative people. They don't know how to deal with that. So we are putting, for 2014, a direct access for them to make the invoice and get the client to secure the flow,
paperless,
and get the money on their account. So it's an entire project. BPO has said, as you said.
Do they have money?
Yes, they do. Do you know how much? Do you know?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure that the top guys have lots of money.
No, not
they're on their own, and they're very happy to. And Ooshot won't be expensive. We're developing Ooshot not because we think this is a cool thing to do. I'm doing this because it really answers to a need and a problem to a market. So it will be really accessible, and yes, they will.
So, what's the monetization model? So is it a subscription? Is it a one-off? How does it work? And what's the TAM? So what's the total addressable market you see? I mean, it's a specialized, it's like an ERP for photography, it's small. So
I'll leave Thierry answering.
If you throw in the mix, how do you work with the other constituents in the market, like the model agencies?
How do
you work with the model agencies and the other constituents in the market?
So first, to answer first, we are on a subscription basis. Photographers subscribe for several services. Oocasting, Booking, archives, and Invoice.
And you define price points already?
Yes, we have defined. We are talking about €10 a month, and we are thinking about 5,000 photographers within 2 years, which makes break-even within the 2 years, about €600,000.
So how do you deal with the agencies? Because I guess they have books and...
This tool is I have been an agent, and this is what I would have used, because agents and people who work with creative people, today they spend most of their time doing the paperwork. I was a bit funny at the start, but it's really true. We are completely lost in paperwork, and so And you don't spend time with your photographer or with the person you work with by developing their ideas and making their ideas a project, because you're dealing with purchase orders.
And what is very important, if I do have time,
Very quickly.
is that it's only the 2 first years to be B2B, and then, because we will have the very best images from the very best photographers, we can go on sale for the consumer. Actually, you have to know that the very big databases like image banks, like Getty, Corbis, do take 80% of the revenue. The photographer only takes 20%. If you go through a gallery, the photographer only gets 50%. Through Ooshot, he will get 70%. That makes a big difference. Corbis and Getty only give 20% to the creative people. 80% are for their own office work.
That may also make a big difference to your bottom line.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, well, we are out of time, but thank you very much. And I apologize, it's Ooshot. And we thank you very much for being here. Good luck in the competition. Excellent. Very good.